My name is Kesai Chauhan. Today topic I am going to explain is the history of worshipping cats in ancient Egypt. In ancient Egypt, cats were revered as sacred animals and held in the highest esteem. The Egyptians' reverence for feliness permeated every aspect of their society, from religious practices to daily life. Cats in ancient Egyptian culture, household companions, pest control, status symbols. Cats were welcomed into Egyptian homes as beloved pets and were often depicted in artwork alongside their human families. Pest control. Felines were valued for their ability to protect grain stores and homes from rodents, making them as essential part of daily life. Status symbols. Owning a cat was a sign of wealth and prestige, and the more cats a household had, the higher their social standing. Uh, The importance of cats in Egypt. Religious reference. Cats were believed to have divine powers and were associated with various gods and goddesses, including the goddesses Bastet. Cultural significance. Cats were deeply woven into the fabric of Egyptian society, with their images appearing in art, architecture, and literacy. Legal protection. Killing a cat, even accidentally, was considered a grave offense and was punishable by death in ancient Egypt. Means killing a cat directly or indirectly or accidentally or initially, then they were sentenced to death in ancient Egypt. The goddess Bastet and cat worship. Bastet, the feline goddess. Bastet, the goddess of protection, fertility, and cats, was one of the most revered deities in the Egyptian pantheon. Cat temples and shrines. Elaborate temples and shrines were dedicated to Bastet, where cats were cared for and honored with offerings and rituals. Rituals means feline mummies. When cats died, they were mummified and buried in elaborate tombs, reflecting the Egyptians' deep reverence for their feline companions. Means when the cat dies, they were mummified like human beings. Caste festival, caste festivals. The Egyptians celebrated annual festivals in honor of Bastet, where they would gather to worship and make offerings to the goddess. The mummification of cats like human beings. Elaborate process. The mummification of cats was a complex and meticulous process involving the removal of internal organs, drying and wrapping in linen. Sacred rituals. The mummification of cats were accomplished by sacred rituals and ceremonies, further emphasizing the reverence the Egyptians held for their feline companions. Afterlife beliefs. The Egyptians believed that mummified cats would accompany their owner afterlife, ensuring their continued companionship and protection. In ancient Egypt, they were believed that when a owner dies, the cat should be buried along with the owner, such that they would be together in afterlife. It was a heavily believed myth in ancient Egypt. Cat themed artwork and architecture, wall paintings, sculptures, and statues. Architecture. Cats were frequently depicted in the vibrant wall paintings that adorned the interiors of temples, tombs, and places. Wall paintings. Many wall paintings have been encrypted in Egyptian pyramids or the sculptures they were built in ancient Egyptian. We can see the paintings of cats worshipping, women were worshipping cats, and the mummification of cats process. It's also painted on the walls of the Egyptian pyramids. Sculptures and statues. Elaborate sculptures and statues of cats were crafted and placed in sacred spaces to honor the feline deities. Architecture. The ancient Egyptians incorporated cat themed motifs and design into their temples, places, and other important structures. The role of cats in Egyptian mythology. Bastet, the goddess of cats. Bastet was one of the most significant deities in the Egyptian pantheon, representing protection, fertility, and the sun. Protection means the cats were believed that any animals which would be attacking the storehouses or store grains, the cats were believed that they will be protection of the family or the house, protectors of the dead. Cats were believed to have the ability to guide and protect the souls of deceased in the afterlife. Symbols of rebirth. The cat's ability to give birth to multiple kittens made them the symbol of rebirth and regeneration in mythology. According to general knowledge, a cat can give birth to 4 to 5 kittens at a time. Cat cemeteries and burials. Cemeteries. Elaborate cat cemeteries known as animal necropolises were established to honor and bury mummified cats. Burial costumes. Cats were often buried with their owners along with offerings and treasures to accompany them to the afterlife. Scale. Millions of cat mummies have been discovered, reflecting the immense scale of Egyptian and reference of their feline deities companions. Then, the decline of cat worship in Egypt. Rise of Christianity. The spread of Christianity in Egypt led to a decline in the worship of pagan deities, including the cat goddess Bastet. Means they were gradually increasing the Christian religious. Political unrest. Political upheaval and foreign invasions in the later periods of ancient Egypt also contributed to the gradual decline of cat worship. Cultural shift. As Egyptian society evolved, the reference for cats gradually faded, leading to the eventual abandonment of the ancient cat worshipping practices. Means slowly after the ancient Egyptian has passed, the Egyptians were slowly declining the worship of cats, which was very famous in ancient Egyptian. The main reasons of the decline of cat worship in Egypt was rise of Christianity. In Christianity, they were not willing to believe cats or willing to worship them as gods. And another reason was political unrest. There was many foreign invasions in which the foreign invaders have implemented their policies or their cultures in Egyptian places. Therefore, the cat worship in Egypt gradually decreased. Then, the main part of the decline of cat worship Egypt was cultural shifts because Egyptian society was evolved and gradually the reference of cats or worshipping of cats were eventually abandoned and at last it was stopped. Thank you.